Today, not only do I have 4 delicious recipes to share, I also have a surprise. What's up, guys? Good evening. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week so far. My name is Kira if you are new, and I am super excited about the recipes that I'm sharing with you today because there are 4 recipes that are perfect for your game day. Now, Super Bowl is coming up right around the corner, and Super Bowl for me is like Christmas. I'm a huge football lover. I've shared some sort of Super Bowl or appetizer themed recipe video every year during this time since I started my channel. So this year, of course, is no different, but I'm more excited about this one than I've been in the past because I'm sharing 2 recipes that were new to me, so they're new to you. I've never shared them on my channel before, but then I'm sharing 2 recipes that aren't new to me because they are mine. So they're 2 game day recipes that I put into the cookbook that I recently released with my friend Vanessa over at Lemonade Mom. Now, when we first put this cookbook out, a bunch of you had kind of reached out and said, hey, I'm not really into the digital version cookbook, which is how we released it. And it is still available in digital version, and you can just print it just like I did and put it in a binder. And that's always available on my website, 50shadesofmom.com, in the shop tab. But we've done what you guys have asked, and we have finally gone ahead and put it on Amazon for you guys. So you officially can get a tangible copy of this holiday cookbook. And this is like a winter theme, so it has everything from fall and Halloween and game day recipes to Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it's drinks, appetizers, and desserts. 60 recipes, brand new, fresh off the charts for you guys to try, and pre-sales start today. So from today until March the 1st, we will be doing pre-sales on this cookbook, and it will be offered for $14.99. After March the 1st, it'll be available on Amazon for $19.99, just like our past cookbook was. So all you guys have to do is go into the description box, shout me an email. My email address is klockwood254@gmail. You can go ahead and send me a message and request for PayPal payment, and I'll send you over a request for payment. You guys can send over your payment and you'll be logged in for March the 1st disbursement. So on March the 1st, when it's available on Amazon, it'll also end up being shipped to you guys, and Vanessa and I will sign and personalize them. So that was my exciting news, and I'm excited to share that with you guys. But for right now, I'm really excited about my recipes. So I have 2, like I said, that are mine that I'm sharing with you. A bacon wrapped cream cheese stuffed jalapeno, and then we're doing a brownie batter dip. That's not my recipe. And then we're also doing a hoagie dip. That's not my recipe either. That's another one that I found off of Pinterest. And then we're doing a mini buffalo skin. That is my recipe and in the cookbook. Now, Vanessa does have some recipes to share with you guys as well. So if you guys aren't aware of who Vanessa is from Lemonade Mom, I'll make sure to leave her channel linked down below so you can go over and check out the recipes that she has to share. She has some new recipes that she's not ever shared on her channel before, as well as recipes that she put into this cookbook as well. So 2 from the cookbook, 2 brand new recipes to me. So I'm excited to share them. So let's go down into my kitchen and let me take you through a journey of flavor profile for your game day. All right, you guys, so here is our first recipe, and this recipe is called Italian hoagie dip, and it's essentially having a really yummy Italian hero that you would get from a sandwich shop with all of the Italian meats and cheeses, and then some lettuce and red onion mixed with mayo and oil and vinegar, and it makes a really, really yummy dip. I feel like this would be perfect to serve with like the little tiny breads, so you can make tea sandwiches or like the little king King's Hawaiian rolls. I'm actually going to use ciabatta bread, and we're going to warm it and cut it into little tiny rounds, and we'll put it around the dip so we can use that bread to dip into it. But this just really just speaks to me, and it sounds super delicious. So here's what you're going to need. You'll need a 1/4 cup diced of, I'm using honey ham, but you can use your ham of choosing. And then you're going to use a 1/4 pound of pepperoni diced up, a 1/4 pound of Genoa salami diced up. We have roughly 3 cups of iceberg lettuce here cut into shreds. I have about 1/2 cup here of diced red onion. I have 6 slices of provolone diced. And then we're going to use about 1/2 cup of mayo. And then we're just going to add some oil and vinegar, like in splashes at a time, and mix until it gets to the consistency that you like. And then you can also go ahead and add in some salt and pepper and season to your taste. But this is pretty much a dump and go kind of dip recipe, but all the flavors together are just fantastic.
You and me stuck on the ocean now, nothing but waves in this filling in. I wanna dry up, but you just keep on going, don't you? I don't even know how we got here, all my reasoning have disappeared. I wanna bury the hatchet and find the way back to our home, our home, our home. We don't have to drift inside this dome. I will not let us fade away. It's not a price I wanna pay, and it's not too late. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around all the way back home. Chasing all that we don't have, chasing all that we don't have, chasing all that.
Okay, you guys, so here it is all mixed up. I did go ahead and top it with a little bit of Italian seasoning just to give it that little extra flair. I know I love my Italian heroes with a little Italian seasoning and mayo, and then I dunk it in an oil and vinegar mix. So this is going to be like eating the ultimate hero. And I went ahead and cut up half of the baguette, and I just put it here on a little cutting board so that we can go ahead and serve it like that. But I am super excited because this looks delicious, and I can't wait to dig in. All right, you guys, so our second recipe is one from the cookbook, and that is these mini buffalo skins. Now, the ingredients you need are 3 baking potatoes. I am using 4 since we are a family of 6, and I'm using this as a side dish for dinner. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, 1/2 cup of crumbled bacon pieces. You need hot sauce for drizzling, and then ranch for drizzling. So for starters, I have my oven set to 425 degrees. I've already scrubbed these potatoes down. You can see they're still wet, and I've skinned where there was any kind of like little eyeballs or anything, but you are going to want to leave the skins on because these are buffalo skin. So we're going to poke these with a fork, and then we're going to get them into a 425 degree oven for 45 minutes. Once they're done, we'll let them cool, and then we'll cut them into wedges. But for now, let's go ahead and poke them and then get them into the oven to cook.
Didn't have much, but nevertheless we were true to each other, but now we don't even bother. I remember.
All right, you guys, our potatoes are cooked and they are cooled, and we're going to go ahead now and slice them. I'll show you how to cut them in the right kind of wedges to put on there. Now, I know there was 4 when I first put them in the oven, but since I was doing this around dinner time, I had all 4 cooling on the stove, and my husband thought baked potatoes was a side dish for dinner. So when we were getting ready to plate dinner, he went ahead and grabbed one of these before I could turn the camera on and share with you how to make the wedges. So So we are doing it exactly how the recipe says, with 3 potatoes, because now my husband won't be indulging, because that's what he gets for eating one of my baked potatoes. So we're gonna cut these into wedges, and then here's the rest of what we need. So I have a cup of cheddar cheese here. I have some thick cut bacon that I got from Walmart, and I cut it into little strips, and I already cooked it in the pan so that I can get little crumbles, because we're gonna top it with crumbles. I have some Frank's Red Hot wing sauce. We're gonna drizzle that over the top of the wedges. And then you're also supposed to garnish with ranch dressing, but I mentioned in my grocery haul that my husband opened up the refrigerator door and our big jug of ranch dressing fell off the door onto the floor and broke. So I have no ranch to drizzle, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some ranch, and I might as well just share it with you since I haven't shared a meal prep video in a long time, and I have quite a bunch of new people who might not know how I prepare. So I'm gonna go ahead, we'll make the ranch, cut the potatoes, and get those into the oven, and then we'll make the ranch dressing while these are cooking. All right, you guys, so here's one of the potatoes, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it and share with you how to get it into a wedge form. So first, you're gonna go ahead and just cut straight down the middle to give you 2 even halves lengthwise. Now, you're gonna go ahead and repeat the process by cutting each half in half again. And now you're gonna do the same thing again. So it's literally just cutting each half in half until you get your desired wedge thickness. Now you can go ahead and do it in smaller sizes. You can use smaller potatoes if you want to do even, you know, more of a mini one. For appetizer purposes, I like them to be good and thick. Like that's a nice size potato wedge, but it's gonna cook up and crisp up really nice. And then you can put this on a platter with a toothpick, and it's a nice hearty appetizer. If you were doing this as potato wedges for a side dish, I would say go way smaller, because you're not gonna really want this on the side of your burger. But for appetizer purposes, I like a nice, you know, larger wedge. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's cutting in half and then in half and then in half again. And once you get your lengthwise width, then you're just gonna come back and cut a widthwise slice in the middle to give you a little bit of a smaller, you know, wedge. You don't need one the size of that big, huge potato. I mean, that is too big. But otherwise, you guys, we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna cut the rest of them, and then we're gonna put them on the pan, and I'll share with you guys the next step.
You being hopeful, but the tall waves have worn us down, and slowly we are drowning. That's why you need to come with me, with me, with me. Turn around 180 degrees and cross the sea. I will not let us fade away. It's not a price I wanna pay, and it's not too late. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need.
All right, you guys, so all of our potato wedges are cut, and then I went ahead and put them on some sheet pans. You can tell the new ones I got for Christmas, and the old ones I still haven't thrown away. So now what I'm gonna do is melt some butter. I forgot to tell you that before in the ingredients that we needed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and melt about 2 tablespoons of butter in the microwave, and we're gonna baste these with butter, and I like to baste them with a little bit of hot sauce, and then we'll do some drizzling later. But we're gonna baste them with butter and a little bit of buffalo sauce, and then we're gonna stick them in the oven with the cheese and bacon and get them all crispy.
Feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not have. Chasing all that we don't have. Chasing all that we do not have. We do not all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not have. Chasing all that we don't have. Chasing all that we do not have. We do not. I always knew we could do so many great things. So believe in me, I believe in you, and I just feel that this will be an upswing. So hear me out.
All right, guys, so I got my ½ gallon of buttermilk here, and we're not gonna use the whole thing. I am gonna pour just about half because I usually use a quart of buttermilk to make this. So a little bit more. And once I'm done, I'm gonna get a full one of these giant ball jars I'll get of dressing. As long as my husband doesn't make it hit the floor, we should be good. So, all right, guys, so in this measuring cup is ½ a cup of the ranch seasoning mix. Now, this is the McCormick. I've always just gotten the Hidden Valley Ranch, but even though we all love Hidden Valley, it's actually full of not the greatest ingredients. But this is a 5 simple ingredients, I think. 3-in-1 seasoning, clean and simple McCormick ranch. So it's supposed to have no MSG, be gluten-free, no artificial ingredients or anything. And I can tell that this tastes better. Like the dill and the ingredients taste fresher than like the regular Hidden Valley packet. So I highly recommend this one if you guys haven't tried it. Last but not least is our mayo, which is pretty much the most important part of your dressing, just because you want to use this as a way to control your consistency. You just put a lot of wet in there. That's a full, you know, few pints of buttermilk. So because you put so much liquid in there, this is going to control how you want your consistency of your dressing to be. Do you want it on the thinner side? Do you want it to be on the thicker side? So I usually put a few good heaping spatulas in here, and then I'm gonna mix it up really good, and then I'll judge the consistency then, and then I'm also gonna add some additional seasonings. So it looks to me this is pretty much close to the consistency that we like. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a couple of tablespoons of granulated garlic in there. It really does change the flavor of the ranch and just kind of kicks it up a notch. And I'm also gonna go ahead and crack some fresh black pepper into here. Not a whole lot. I happen to really love pepper. Not everybody does. But you can definitely tell the difference when you add a good amount of fresh ground pepper to it as well. So now I'm gonna throw the lid on, and then I'm gonna give it a really, really good shake, which is why I like doing dressings in a ball jar like this, because now you're never gonna get a better mix than a good shake. Okay, guys, so here they are, all cooked up out of the oven, and I just put them on this little football platter. And now we're gonna do the part that every potato skin is waiting for. We're gonna go ahead and drizzle the hot sauce and the ranch. And now we're just gonna add some toothpicks to the big chunks, just so that you're letting your party guests know that this is something that they should be grabbing with the toothpick, that it's more of an individual thing, that they don't need to be waiting for a spoon or a spatula to put this on their plate, that they should just be grabbing it piece by piece. All right, you guys, that's it. They're done. They look absolutely beautiful and fantastic. And I wish it was Super Bowl Sunday so I can put this out on the table with the rest of our appetizers. I did just include an extra little dish of ranch on the side, just in case anybody wants a little extra. Plus, you know, there's a whole layer down there that really didn't get that coating. But here's the recipe again and what it looks like. My mini buffalo skins, perfect for your game day recipes. All right, you guys, so here is our third recipe, and this is my bacon wrapped jalapenos. Please ignore whatever noise you hear in the background. There are men working on my house upstairs. My children are screaming, playing Minecraft. It is a hot mess, but I'm excited to share this one with you because there's a few twists to a standard cream cheese jalapeno wrapped with bacon, okay? Because we are going to mix in some green onion, and we're also going to mix in some everything but the bagel seasoning. So this is what the recipe looks like in the cookbook with your ingredients, your instructions, and the photo. And then here is the things that you are going to need. So back there I have some cream cheese. Now we're only going to need 4 ounces. I have 12 strips of thick cut bacon. I have the everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's. I have 6 nice size jalapenos, and then I have 3 green onions here. So now the first thing that we have to do is go ahead and de-seed these jalapenos. So that's what I'm going to do first. And voila. Our peppers are de-seeded. So now we're going to go ahead and put 4 ounces of cream cheese. We're going to dice up our green onions, and then we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of everything but the bagel seasoning, and we're going to go ahead and mix that up. Alright you guys, so you saw that I went ahead and finished mixing up our mixture. So now for the fun part. So I'm going to grab a butter knife, and I'm going to go ahead and smear some of this mixture into each one of the jalapenos, and then we're going to wrap it with a piece of bacon. I'm going to place it on a sheet pan with some parchment paper, and then we're going to stick it in a 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until your bacon is to your desired crispiness. Okay, you guys, so here they are, all cooked up and so deliciously yummy. I love when the cream cheese gets warm and it kind of mixes with all those everything but the bagel seasoning and the green onion. It just complements the jalapeno so good. And even if you don't like spice, but you still like the flavor of jalapenos, you would still like this, because once you take the seeds out, it just eliminates the spice. And if you use good quality bacon, it comes out good and crispy. I just put it on my football platter with a little bit of carrots and some more of my homemade ranch. But there it is, you guys. We did it. Another one more to go, and now we're on to dessert. All right, you guys, so here we are on our last recipe, and we're saving the best, but yet the most complicated for last. And any dessert worth making usually takes a little bit of work. So what we need for this recipe is 1 package of brownie mix. This is the last package of Ghirardelli mix that I have from Costco. You need 1 stick of softened butter, and then another 2 tablespoons, which I have right there in my butter dish. You need 1 package of 8 ounces of cream cheese softened. You'll need a 1/2 cup of some fluff. You'll need a couple of teaspoons of heavy cream. You'll need some graham cracker crumbs, some chocolate sprinkles or Oreo crumbs. I'm using sprinkles. You'll need some vanilla frosting. You're going to need some Snickers. It says 13 of the minis cut in half. And then you're going to need some chocolate chips. And then this is going to pretty much be everything that you need to make what I'm going to pop up on the screen right now, which is a football-shaped brownie dip batter, which just sounds absolutely phenomenal. And then you can put whatever you want around it. We're going to use everything pretzel crisps, some graham crackers, and some strawberries. So I'll share that part with you guys once we get there. But the first step that it wants us to do is make our ganache. So we're going to need the 2 tablespoons of the butter and the heavy cream and the chocolate chips. We're going to get that on the stove and we're going to get it melty. And then all the rest of the ingredients are going to go in my KitchenAid. I'm actually going to whip out my KitchenAid for this, and we're going to whip everything up and we're going to form it into a football. We're going to drizzle it with that ganache, cover it with the sprinkles. We'll use the frosting to make laces, and then we'll put everything around it and we'll eat it. It sounds like a lot of steps, but actually doesn't seem so bad, and it's going to be worth it in the end. So let's start off by making our ganache. Alright guys, so I actually read the instructions, and it doesn't want you to just make the ganache on the stove. It wants you to use a double boiler. And I have one, but it's still packed somewhere. I feel like I've been telling you guys that my stuff has been packed in boxes for like a year and a half. I promise you, I will pack eventually. So I'm just going to use a pot right now. So I have water in here. I'm going to boil it, and then we're going to stick a bowl on top, and we mix all those ingredients in the bowl that's getting hot from the boiling steam underneath, which is essentially what a double boiler is. So we will be back when this water is boiling. All right, you guys, so we got our boiling water. I'm going to shut it off because we're not going to need it to still be cooking. And in our bowl, I have our heavy cream, our 2 tablespoons of butter, and 3/4 of semi-chocolate chips. So right now that bowl is just floating in that hot water. And we don't even need to keep it on the stove. I'm gonna pull it and slide it over here. And so now we're just gonna give this just like a few, I would say maybe a minute. And then you'll start to see that the heat is already starting to melt what's down below. The only thing I will tell you is to be very careful when stirring, because you do not want to get any of this water in the pot into the bowl, because it will lock up your ganache and it'll make it lumpy. So we're going to give this like a little bit of time. I'll of course speed it up for you guys, but we got to work our ganache nice and slow until it's creamy and melty and delicious. Okay guys, see how glossy and shiny and yummy that looks? And now it basically wants us to just put this off to the side and have this wait until we're ready for it. So now we're gonna go ahead and mix the inside. Oh my God, you guys, this bad boy is dusty. Mama is not a baker, so I never have this baby out. I need to give it a little clean. Give me a second. So funny thing about sharing a recipe on Pinterest that you have never made before, right? Is that sometimes recipes work and sometimes they don't. And I have a feeling that they missed a step in the instructions, because it asks for graham crackers twice. It says it needs a sleeve of graham crackers that you're going to use for crumbs. And then it says it wants you to have graham crackers to dip in. So in reading the instructions, because yay Jill, look, I'm actually reading, it doesn't say what to do with the crumbs. So we're gonna follow the steps, but I have a feeling that you mix the crumbs into the dip to give it more of a consistency to hold the football shape. I don't know, we're gonna see. Maybe not, let's see what happens. So we're supposed to start off by whipping the cream cheese and the butter together, and then adding in the brownie mix. So let's start there. In goes the marshmallow fluff. guys, I'm kind of faced with a dilemma right now because I want your help. But how can I have your help if you're not going to see it until it's all done? It's not going to work. So this looks thick, but I don't know if I would be able to form this. Maybe. I'm going to have to try. I thought maybe adding in the crumbs after we did this step was going to make it more substantial. But now all it wants you to do is fold in those Snickers bars. I think once we do that, it'll be more than enough to make this like solid enough to stay in a football shape on the platter. So let's see. Maybe it was just a misprint and we don't even need the graham cracker crumbs. But all right, well, we gotta fold in some Snickers bars. Alright guys, let's pray I don't have to stick this back in the bowl because I have to mix it with cookie crumbs because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. I'm hoping that it will. But you know, first time you, first time me. I don't know. We shall see. This ball looks a little deflated. You can tell Brady's in the Super Bowl. I think it kind of looks like a football, right? I mean, I'm not a baker, but I think I did alright. Alright, now we're supposed to, I have chocolate everywhere. I just want to let you guys know that. Now we're supposed to spread this ganache over that and then layer the sprinkles on top of it. So let's get the ganache on and then we'll do the fun part. Alright you guys, so here is the finished product, and of course I wrote Go KC on there because ain't no Tampa Bay up in this house on Super Bowl Sunday. It is not happening, but I think it came out pretty good. They definitely must have made a mistake with the graham cracker crumbs because I don't know where we would have put them. If we put them inside, it would have been way too thick. This was perfectly fine and easy for me to shape like a football. I put my ganache on it, my sprinkles, did my little decorating, and then I have my everything pretzels here, some graham crackers, and some strawberries. And from everything that we've licked out of the bowl, this is going to be a fantastic. So I would recommend making this ahead of time and putting it in the fridge so that it's good and cold when you pull it out for dessert time. But I know my family is going to enjoy digging into this tonight. We don't have to wait for a Super Bowl. Alright you guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. That hoagie dip, you guys, was fantastic. That brownie dip was, it was so decadent and so good. I absolutely loved it, and of course I love my own recipes or I wouldn't have put them in the cookbook. So I hope that we inspired a little bit of your game day if you're doing something for Super Bowl this year. Don't forget to go over and check out Vanessa's video and see what she's cooking up for her appetizers. And again, if you're interested in a hard copy of our new cookbook, make sure to send me an email and I'll send you over payment for pre-sale, because again, I am really excited that we're finally getting it on Amazon as promised. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.